me. No one reminded me. Today I will actually record. Or else what is the point of being a YouTube star? So I know you know angle bisector cuts an angle in half. I know you know that's when it cuts an angle in half. Angle bisector, angle in half. And I'm pretty sure you can identify angle bisectors. For instance, do you see angle bisectors on number 1, on number 2, or on number 3? 1, 2, or 3 below? Oh, that was not very confident. I need everyone to look. Is she right? Is it number 1? Is it angle bisectors on number 1 of our examples? Okay, I'm hoping everyone can identify this as angle bisectors. Because if you can't identify that, we're in serious trouble. Okay, an altitude goes from one vertex to the opposite side, but notice most importantly the right angles. So you need to be looking for a right angle. So altitudes, a reminder, you want a right angle. So do you see an altitude on 1, 2, or 3? Ayana and Ellie clearly are down today, but Ayana and Ellie are now out. Okay, and then a median sounds like it's in the middle. Median always sounded like middle. And no wonder it's occurring in the middle of this side. And you know it's the middle because it's cutting the side perfectly in half. So median is cutting a side in half, whereas an angle bisector is cutting an angle in half. Okay, and we did all this to say that if two triangles are similar, what does it mean to be similar triangles? There were 2 things we needed. Don't. There are 2 things we need to be similar triangles. What are the 2 things? The angles need to match. Derek, no more. What's the second thing? What do we need to have similar triangles? Sides are they congruent in similar triangles? They're proportional, and what do we call that proportion? I know you're... Thank you, Gage. Scale factor. Okay. If you can do all that, P.S., there was one on your last test that did not have the same angle, so it was not similar, and I have so many who've missed that one, but it is okay for now. If 2 triangles are similar, you're told already these triangles are similar. They are similar. They are similar. If you're told all that, then the altitudes are proportional to the lengths of the corresponding sides. And the angle bisectors are proportional to the lengths of the corresponding sides, and the medians are proportional to the lengths of the corresponding sides, meaning we can set up proportions and cross-multiply with altitudes, angle bisectors, and medians. So on the first example, if I do x over 15, what do I need to put in my other fraction? Okay, so I did x because that was there. X went with 8. They were both in the numerator. 15 went with 12. They're both in the denominator. When I cross multiply, I get 12x equals, I need to know that number. I guess I'm allowing y'all back in. It'll be great. So 10 equals x. Are there any questions about that? So you thought it was going to be hard. And really, it's the exact same kind of stuff we've been doing. Okay, so I would love for someone who I haven't heard from today, specifically, let's see, Harrison's group or Pierre's group or Catherine's group. Because otherwise, I got my 3 that they're going to answer questions. If they could help me set up my proportion in number 2. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day. I heard different things. Okay, 16 over x. I could do that. 16 and x do need to go together. That is true. 15 over 20. I'm going to do, you know, I am a creature of habit. I tend to put the left one in the numerator, so I'm going to keep doing that. I would have 20. I would do 20 over 16 equals 15 over x, where both the 20 and the 15 are in the numerator. both the 16 and the x are in the denominator. But what Sam and Darrell both said is still going to work out, and when they cross multiply, they're going to get the same answer as me. Okay, when you cross multiply, you get 20x equals some number. And so x equals, and then Ellie wants her A in math class, and I didn't do it on the last problem, but I should. If she plugs back in her answers, she can look to see if it looks about right. 10 over 15, that reduces to 2/3. That's 2/3. And then 8 over 12, hey, that also reduces to 2/3. So she knows she's right. And it's smart to keep plugging that back in and checking to make sure those scale factors are still staying the same. Okay, and then we get to the last one, and it's got a decimal. Pierre, your group is still being awfully quiet. I would love someone to help me set up number 3. Thank you for bailing them out, Catherine. X over 3 equals what? 13.5 over 9. I cross multiply, I get 9x equals, I don't know what that is, 40.5. Ellie, you're just already done, aren't you? X equals what number? 4.5. Okay, does anyone have any questions on any of this? Again, if you want to set up the proportion, Darrell was doing it differently. He was saying like 9 over 13.5 equals 3 over x. He's still going to cross multiply. He's still going to get the right answer. And then Sam was setting it up a bit of a different way. But he's still keeping people together that need to be together. He's still cross multiplying. He's still getting the correct answer. You don't have to be my identical twin to get the correct answer. Okay? Are there no questions? So if you look at the back, Harrison can already see he's going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, they used words on 5 and 6. 7 and 8 today. He's got a lot of problems like this he's going to have to do. Well, then I should probably tell Harrison the last thing he needs to know today in order to be successful. I should have done a second learning target, but I know how you get when there's not enough space. Here's, yes. Okay, well, I'll go talk to her for just a second. Go ahead and flip to the back and try one of the first and second ones. I'll talk to her. Yeah. Hey.
Yesterday, I asked her if she actually works also there with that. Too late in the year for me to switch to.
Now, thank you for Riley putting her out because that was going in. Okay, flip back to the front before you go crazy over your work. Let me tell you the one last thing you need to know so you can do the whole worksheet. Put a star by this, and it's called the triangle-angle bisector theorem. It says an angle bisector in a triangle separates the opposite side into two segments that are proportional to the lengths of the other two sides. So again, an angle bisector separates the opposite sides, meaning KM and ML, into two segments that are proportional to the lengths of the other two sides. So it's proportional to 2, 16, 14, this, and it's proportional to this. And all my coloring really doesn't make sense, so let me just show you the first example, and then we'll set up our own proportions for the next two. So, actually, I'm going to do number 5 first. So, I can do one triangle is going to be one fraction. I'm going to do the other triangle as the other fraction. So if I do 4 over x, what should I put for my other fraction? Is it 6 over 13 or 13 over 6? It's 6 over 13 because 4 and 6 need to go together, and x and 13 need to go together. Okay, you cross multiply, you get 6x equals 52, so x equals, I don't know what that is. Okay, 8.67. Thank you, dear. Okay, are there any questions about that one? Okay, that one seems nice. And Miss Compton has skipped 4 and 6. Why are 4 and 6 a little harder than number 5? What's different about 4 and 6?
It shows the full length.
Oh man, instead of telling you 4 and 6, they tell you like the whole thing's 18 and that piece is x. The whole piece is 20 and that one piece is x. So we need, I know 11 and 14 go together, but x, he needs to have a friend to go with. His friend is not 20 because 20 is the whole length. So what can his friend be? Well, you would think it's cut in half, but it's not necessarily cut in half. 4 and 6 wasn't cut directly in half. It wasn't 5 and 5. You already saw that's cheating.
I didn't see that one. I did not.
Okay, so how do we, if I told you x was 3, how long would that piece be? Okay, if I told you that piece was 12, how long would that piece be? How are you figuring that out? You're subtracting it from what? So you're doing 20 minus x. So put 20 minus x on that other piece. Because again, Ayana, I would ask her if that one's 3, then that one's 17, because she's doing 20 minus 3 is 17. If that one's 12, 20 minus 12 is 8, so that one's 8. Okay, so if I set up my two fractions, what would I put? Equals what? Okay, when you cross multiply, if you suddenly have like an x squared or two x's trying to multiply together, odds are Harrison did not set up his proportion correctly. I don't know why I pick on poor Harrison 9 times out of 10, but if he ends up having something really complicated when he cross multiplies, he did not set up his proportion correctly. He needs to send out an SOS. And I can pick on Harrison for this because he does not do this. He always does this correctly. He's got to distribute that 14 to both terms. What is 14 times 20?
280.
Okay, so I have 280 minus 14x. When I add 14x to both sides, I get 25x equals 280. So x equals, I'm so out of room. What is it? 11.2. Are there any questions about number 6? I want you and your group to work number 4 and then shout out the answer when you have it, and then I'll show you what I did. I want to make sure you got this triangle angle bisector theorem down. Ah, thanks. Again, this is why it's unfair. So try number 4 and then shout out your answer and we'll see who's got it right. I heard something. It was right too. What did you get? Ayana, what did y'all get? Pierre, do y'all have an answer today? Always. Pierre, you had one of the highest grades on the last test. I know you're good at proportions. I don't know if you're half asleep today or what. That is my name. Is it what? No. I got 5.4. Pierre. I'm still waiting. I don't know. Pierre needs to check me. He had a really high grade on the last test. If I've done something wrong, he's going to catch me today.
I don't know if this might mess me up later, but you showed me a different way on the worksheet.
Let me finish this one and then you can show me because I'm still recording, so you're going to
yeah.
use my YouTube audience. Pierre, you're killing me, Small. Sarah, can you help him? If you're done and you got 5.4, you can flip to the back and go ahead and start the worksheet. If you're still not sure how we got 5.4, then wait for Pierre to tell me.
How do you decide if the X goes on top of the
It shouldn't matter. I just make sure I do this is one fraction and this is the other. And if you put X in the top, then you have to put 18 minus X in the top. But if you put X in the bottom, then put 18 minus X in the bottom. As long as these stay together across from each other, shouldn't matter. Pierre, please help me. I don't know what 6 times 18 is. I wanted to say it was 104, but that doesn't feel right.
I think it's 108.
108? Thank you, Pierre. Did you get in that you got here? And now what? Okay, so you had 20x equals 108. So what did x equal? Okay, awesome. We're all in agreement now. So we're all good and we know how to do this, and we're going to do the back side of the worksheet. If you want to come check it with me, you can. I'm not actually going to check it for a grade until tomorrow.